Everybody, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. Tammy Talks here. Let's go ahead and get right into tonight's episode of Love and Hip Hop Family Reunion, Season 2, Episode 4, From Sex Charades to Cisco. This is crazy. This was such a dumb episode. Mainly because Cisco is clawing and screaming and scratching, good timing, trying to find a storyline. If you're brand new to my channel, I do breakdowns of TV shows, and with also some little bit of pop culture here and there. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button, thumbs up the video if you enjoy that type of content. Hop into the comment section down below and let's talk about this episode, y'all. So the beginning of the episode is really slow. We have Sin and Jonathan calling Yo-Yo JoJo. I was over it, completely over it. So then we have Erica, Brooke, and Mimi, and they talk about well, before that, Sin is talking about Cisco. Sin has talked about Cisco to every single person who was willing to shoot a scene with her. Every chance she gets, she's talking about Cisco and his bad energy. Cisco and his bad energy. Girl, why don't you go talk to Cisco? Because you seem to have a bigger problem with him than he has with you. Sin got on my last nerve with that. If you have that big of a problem with Cisco, you feel that his energy is so negative, why don't you go over there and talk to him? Go and demand an apology and see how that works. Like that got on my last nerve the entire episode. So then we have Erica, Brooke, and Mimi, and they're talking about how Erica's in a good mood this morning because after her talk with Safari last night and how they were able to hash things out. Erica still feels conflicted. She knows that her and Safari go through these ups and downs where, you know, they'll have a conversation, they'll move past it, they'll have another issue, they'll move past it. So she doesn't know, like, how this is going to really pan out once they get back to Atlanta. So Brooke pointed out how Safari actually apologized. She said he never apologizes, so that should kind of count for something. Erica does mention how Safari was crying in front of not just everybody, but crying in front of his friends, in front of the other guys. So that gives her a little bit of hope, but she's moving very, very cautiously, as she should. So then we have Safari, Marcus, and Booby. They are playing basketball, and they talk about how Sin is, like, pushing up on Booby. Booby's getting, like, wifed up and all this other type of stuff. Booby then tells us how he has squashed his beef with Marcus because, you know, him and Brooke have always claimed to be, like, that brother, sister, best friend relationship. So he said that he wanted to still, you know, maintain his friendship with Brooke. So as we know, I think, like, within the last 2 seasons of Love and Hip Hop, when they did have Hollywood, remember Marcus and Booby got into that fight and they were, like, chasing each other around the car. So Marcus talks about what's going on with Safari and Erica, and he tells them that, you know, you take things when you're in the NBA. Do you look at each game by game, or do you go into each game looking forward to winning the championship? And they're like, oh, that's deep. And I'm like, all right. But Safari said that those are the people he should be taking advice from. Marcus and Booby. Booby, who is divorced from Keisha Cole. That's who you think you should be taking advice from. Safari just, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. So Yo-Yo has a backyard barbecue. It's tons of food. They want us to believe that Yo-Yo cooked all that food. Okay. So while they're at this barbecue, Erica's sitting down at the table with Marcus, and she asked him, like, what happened, what was the change in Safari that happened the night before, because his mood suddenly changed. And Marcus is just saying that, you know, Safari is just going through something and he wants to fight for his family. And it's like, Marcus, you don't know these people. You don't know these people. So Safari he comes out and he's talking to everyone. All of a sudden he gets pulled to the side by Cisco. This is Cisco's second bullshit storyline of this season, and we're on episode 4. He is mad that he said his aunt is Deb Antney, who isn't Deb Antney related to in the industry. As many of us know, Deb used to be Nikki's manager, I believe. Yeah, she used to be Nikki's manager. So that's how Safaree knows her. Cisco said he was throwing a birthday party for her. Safaree didn't show up. Everybody's clicking their nameplates, picking up their name tags. They still see Safaree there. Safaree did not show up. So everyone kept asking, where's Safaree? Where's Safaree? And so he said that he was embarrassed. He said that he's embarrassed because now he's doing all of this. He had to like backtrack and cover for him. And Safaree was like, we didn't have a sitter. We didn't have a sitter. And while they're talking, Rich comes up and tells Cisco, this is not the time. Like, why are you even talking about this? And then Cisco was just smiling and he's like, well, family's important to me. I hate that you weren't there. And Safaree is looking at him like, nigga, like, who cares? Lord, Cisco, find you something to do. So then we have Cisco, who was like showing Jonathan a sex tape that him and Erica shot the night before. And it's like, next thing you know, Yo-Yo is freestyling. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? I cannot be the only... The last family reunion was not this disjointed. This honestly just seems like the producers are out there and they're telling people, okay, Yo-Yo, rap. Okay, Safaree, pull out your phone. And it's like, what is going on, y'all? What is going on? There is no unity, no cohesiveness, nothing to this show. But, okay, so Yo-Yo's rapping and they're all like, oh, that was cold. And I'm like, was it? Let's be clear. Yo-Yo is a great, you know what I mean? Yo-Yo is definitely up there when it comes to female rappers. But that was not what they were making it out to be. So now everybody has, everybody ate. So now we're all over by the pool. Jonathan is still very upset that Zell has said that he was too gay for him. So he sees Bobby relaxing in the pool. He wants to talk to Bobby about what Bobby and Zell said in their confessional, their interviews, where they were, after they were doing like the egg races, and Zell was like, see, I'm more athletic than Bobby, like on that type of bull. Jonathan's still mad about that. He took offense to that. So Bobby said that Bobby didn't take Zell calling him and Jonathan too gay. He said because he is too gay for Zell. He said, but he does not think that you can compare someone saying that you're too gay to someone saying that you're too black. And that's really what Jonathan was doing. He was like, and I get what Jonathan was trying to say, but that was not the correct analogy for that. Like, it came across as, Jonathan, you're grasping at straws. And at this point, Jonathan is reaching for a storyline too, because, sweetheart, it is not taking all of this. You're making it a bigger issue than it has to be. You and Zell exchange some words, and then that's it. That's it. But Jonathan wants to be Jonathan. So Bobby is like, well, Zell kind of called you a racist. So as he's saying that, we see Zell walk over to the pool area. He sits down behind Bobby. So Bobby turns his whole body around. I'm sorry, Jonathan. Jonathan turns his whole body around to Zell, and he's like, I'm not a racist. Zell looked very off guard. You can see Zell start to backpedal a little bit because he was like, you saw I said that? And then he was like, I don't think you're racist, but he said, I don't think you're racist. He said, I was just saying that you're too gay, kind of as a joke. So Zell's whole point is, just because Zell said he's not gay, he's bisexual. Zell's point is, just because I'm bisexual does not mean that I'm not a man first. So he said that he was raised to be a man first. He's not flamboyant. He's not going to do all that stuff that Bobby and Jonathan do. So then Jonathan turns into and said, well, what is a man? Because I stepped up and raised my nephews when I needed to. I supported them. I provided for them. And I'm like, that's a very good point too. So Jonathan had Zell on that part, but Zell then said that he does not think it's okay to talk about certain things in front of straight men. And Zell wants to be seen as a bisexual man who is strictly, or not strictly, but as a bisexual man who is like 70 women, 30 men. That's what he wants to be viewed at. And for whatever reason, he's trying to impress the Creep Squad, Jules Santana, Marcus Safari. He's trying to impress all those men who clearly don't give a damn that you're gay or not. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to suddenly be friends with them. They're going to go back to their respective cities, and that's just going to be it. So, Zale is doing too much in regards to the actual conversation, but Jonathan is doing too much overall, because Jonathan keeps saying he doesn't want to make it awkward, but then he like randomly brings up like Erica and Safari. She's upset because she feels that whatever conversation y'all got going on shouldn't involve me and Safari or our sex tape or whatever we showed you from last night. So Jonathan is keeping up this argument, this fight with Zale, and he's getting mad because he's not getting the group uprising that he wants. So Jonathan wants everybody to like be on his side and jump on Zale, and nobody is doing that because people don't care that much. Y'all are not the A storyline. Y'all are not. So people don't care that much. So y'all doing that is just kind of, it's silly. You doing that is just kind of silly at this point. So Sin goes over to Rich and asks what is up with Cisco and his energy. Again, Sin, skip your ass over to Cisco and ask Cisco that. I don't understand why she is so like insistent on asking everyone else but the person she has the problem with. So she asks Rich, why does he keep walking away from her? Whenever he's in their vicinity, he, about faces and goes the other way. Rich said that he feels with all the time that has passed that he probably never got over Sin. He probably thought that he would come on this trip and he would be able to woo her and sweep her off her feet. And I said, I know you fucking lying, Rich. There is no way that Cisco thought that. But as we see later in the episode, he clearly did. So Sin feels that he should be able to just have a conversation with her. And I agree. And Sin, I think you should be able to go up to him and have a conversation with him. But it's not the best look that you are going around and talking to everybody about Cisco and his energy. Girl, maybe you giving off bad energy too. I've never been a fan of Sin. I have defended Sin when she needs defending. But Sin does a lot of fugazi shit that shows and reminds us she is still in her 20s. So it is Erica's night to throw an event, and Erica is having a sex charades party. And I said, oh, okay. So Sin doesn't want to be there because she don't fuck with Erica like that, but she's going to go in the vein of team spirit. But then she says she doesn't want to be around Cisco either because his energy is weird. So she does not have a problem with Erica, but she doesn't want there to be an energy shift, and she doesn't like Cisco's energy. And it's like, girl, who you don't have a problem with tonight? All we needed was like Joe there, and it would have been like Sin would have probably just stayed in the damn room. So everyone is starts talking about Mimi's sex tape and how they watched it. They liked how she looked in it, blah, blah, blah. Mimi is like, no, we're not talking about that. So everyone's doing all these positions and stuff. Shekinah, who has been complaining about everything since she got there, is complaining and talking about how she doesn't understand why they're doing this and people are down there in lingerie and whatever. It's like, Shekinah, girl, just enjoy the free check. Sit back and enjoy the free check. Like, why are you I don't understand why Shekinah makes such a big deal out of everything. Like, girl, relax. So everyone's having a good time. Sin is sitting by Rich. Cisco walks over to her and asks if he can talk to her. She's like, no. She wants to have a conversation, but she does not want to do it at that time. She doesn't think that this is the best time to do it. She feels that there's a better time. Rich agrees. This is not the best time to do it. Everyone's drinking. Everyone's doing whatever. Don't have this serious conversation right now. So they eventually go up to the roof to talk, or up to just a different level. Mimi, for whatever reason, takes it upon herself to announce to the entire group that Sin is going to have a conversation with Cisco because Cisco is going to apologize because, back in the day, he was working with her, offered to do a song for her when he found out that she didn't want to be with him or didn't want to talk to him, entertain him in that way, he took the song back. So Erica was like, oh, so he's just a butthole, whatever. And everyone's just kind of like, yeah, so Cisco also doesn't know how to do it because she has been in Boobie's face. And Boobie is looking like, how the fuck did I get into this? It's just silly. So everyone is down there like going in on Cisco about what he's been doing, how he's acting, like how trash that was. Meanwhile, upstairs, Cisco asks Sin if she is still upset with him. She says yes. He said that he feels that she owes him a little bit of respect and gratitude because he was the first person to put her in the booth. So he low-key feels that her career and the success that Sin has had with her couple of songs, that is owed a little bit to him, and he sounds like he damn near wants to thank you. So he said that he's been distant to everyone, and everyone's asking him that, and he was like, it's because of you, Sin. And she said that she was hurt because, they were cool, they were friends back in the day. Cisco then asked him, why is she doing what she's doing? And she was like, what are you even talking about? He said that Sin is messing with Boobie in his face to try to get to try to get a rise out of him, to try to hurt him. And she was like, the fuck are you talking about? And I think that's what we all collectively said when Cisco started saying it. So Sin says she's not going to talk about anybody that she's messing with or anything like that. She only wants to talk about how he hurt her and how she wants an apology. And I even tweeted, I feel like Sin has so much smoke for Cisco when she's in the confessional and she's buck and she's bouncing and doing all of this. But when she's in front of him, she's acting like she can't say anything until he says something first. So Cisco starts talking in riddles. And he's like smirking and it's weird. And Sin is like, look, I'm not about to do this with you. If we're not here to like really have a conversation, then we can go. So she kind of walks off. And Cisco like looks mad at himself. And I'm like, is this how you were supposed to apologize? Because I didn't hear a I'm sorry in there. So like Cisco is just like, go home. I'm so sick of Cisco because none of this makes sense. There's absolutely no reason for Cisco to be behaving the way that he is behaving on this trip. Again, who invited you? Was it like we got to get the whole creep squad together? Because this is stupid. So Sin goes back to the group, and as she walks in, Peter goes out and he stops Cisco and tells Cisco, don't come in here. Everybody is on you. You are like a demon right now. Going back up to your room. Cisco said that he felt that Peter was being very sincere and authentic with him. So they left. Sin comes in. And everybody starts asking her what happened. How did the talk go? Womp. Sin doesn't want to talk about it. So Erica was like, no one is off limits. And I think, I could be wrong, but I think Erica was talking about Cisco, not necessarily Sin, not wanting to talk about what happened. So Sin gets mad and was like, if no one's off limits, then let's talk about the fake page. Erica gets pissed. That vein pops out. That vein comes out. And Erica is like, she didn't have a fake page. Tells Sin that we were all down here defending you, which they all were. We were all down here defending you. And then it turns into Erica and Sin going back and forth. Erica saying that I made her what she is. So Sin gets her shit and she leaves with Rich. So Jonathan then turns and tells Erica, well, she just doesn't want to talk. So he was like, she just doesn't want to talk. Like, you don't want to talk about the fake page. Erica is still tripling down, saying that she doesn't have a fake page. Erica, sweetheart, you just got to take that L and eat it. Like, you got to own up to that at this point. Because it's silly for you to keep saying you didn't have a fake page when you got caught red-handed with it. So she told Jonathan, "Why are you even talking to us? I thought we were too black for you." And Erica said that they are fighting over a damn song for charity, and it just kind of get over it. Now, see, Erica feels that way now because Sin attacked her. We all know that when Erica gets backed into a corner, that's what she does. So then Jonathan like leaves, and he's leaving. So he's like running after Sin. "You should wait up for me because I just got attacked for defending you." And I'm like, that's not what happened, Jonathan. You didn't get attacked for defending her. That's not what happened at all. You got into a one-on-one with Erica. You weren't attacked. So then he said now he wants to leave. So he's gonna pack his bag, and Rich was like, "This is not how we handle shit." So they are making it seem as if as if Sin and Jonathan are gonna leave and I think Jonathan wants to leave because he does not feel that enough people are having his back in terms of the situation with Zell. But you need to be mad at Sin because Sin is your Rolly, and Sin's not saying anything to defend you either. But that has been Love and Hip Hop Fan Reunion. Who else is ready for Cisco to go? Catch y'all in the next one.